Welcome to the stream. Welcome to everything what's going on. Let's get the party started. We're building today the ultimate Mendel X-Felds build. But this time we're trashing the golem. Okay, so this is not a summoner build anymore. This is not a pure summoner. We're gonna go full damage this time. We keep the warriors, we keep the mages. Technically could also throw the mages out for more damage versus vulnerable, or technically could only keep the mages. It's actually funny. There's a thought where, what if we only keep the mages? And oh, what if we only keep the mage? Could I finally do something stupid like that? No, we're probably going to still keep the others because the Ring of Mendel, again, with lucky hit chance, right? It's all of your minions. So if you have 12 minions, then it's all minions, or 11 minions, all minions getting the Mendel boost. It's kind of like the fun. If you only keep the mages, it would be way easier to keep everything alive because the mages are trailing behind you, right? So first, let's redo the skill tree because we don't need Hellband Commander. Hellband Commander goes out and the Golem Mastery goes out. That gives us another 6 points and we're getting Corpse Tendrils. Corpse Tendrils make vulnerable now. That's definitely what we want. We don't want critical strike damage with bone skills. Sad that we can't actually tune like physical damage at all. We keep the Blight and we also keep Blight with Supernatural Blight. So that one does stay. Basic skill goes away. We might get Blood Mist in. We might get Blood Mist in, but that's also like still a question of maybe it's worth it to just completely say screw Blood Mist at this point, right? Chibo, thank you for the subscription. Chibo, thanks for being our first subscriber of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Do check if your subs are available and spend them somewhere. Copide, also good to see there. Welcome to building this build together with you live. Technically, we could go for Death Embrace here for a bit more damage reduction now. I'm still toiling with the idea of just playing the mages. It could be something really funny because we could also get rid of death defense if we only play the mages. And we could actually play standalone and Memento Mori. We could actually play standalone because then it's only mages. We still get a good amount of damage reduction bonus. But probably still like just you know, a bit of madness in my mind. Okay, we're gonna be going for Paragon board, and the Paragon board is gonna be the tricky part. We're gonna reset that. We have Ring of Mendel and we have X-Felds Corroded Signet. We need a new amulet because Hellband Commander is useless. Yep. We need a new amulet. We keep the gloves with the lucky hit chance. We keep the pants with the Juggernaut. We don't have to play Void anymore, so we can actually exchange our chest, guys, because we're not Void pulling things together, and we also don't need Army of the Dead anymore, so Army of the Dead can also go away. That means I need a wand right now. I want a wand, but one that gives me damage over time and critical strike damage, so something in that direction. Damage over time, core skill damage. That one was overpower, core skill. This is critical strike damage, vulnerable, and damage to distant. Yeah, this one, we might actually take this one. Just for the time being until I find a better one. This critical strike damage, damage over time, damage to distant, damage to crowd control. Oh yeah, I forgot. We actually had the perfect wand already for this build. I did forget indeed. I mean, technically damage over time is unnecessary, but practically it doesn't hurt to have. We're going to be not taking more damage over time because what we're looking for is critical strike damage versus Vuln. Yeah, probably versus Vuln. So that also works with bosses. Then we need to get Grasping Veins. Grasping Veins. I'm going to take a mid-roll here. Yeah, let's take a mid-roll one. Gerard, good to see you there. Good morning. Sorry for being a bit late, but, you know, sometimes life plays in a mysterious way and you just don't have the time. Oh, this might actually not go on the weapon. Huh. I gotta think this through right now because it probably has to go on my thingy here. Okay, we need the... Also, we have the glove aspect free. Jeez, we have so many aspects free. Oh, what am I gonna do with all of them? Holy. Once in a while, I'm like in the luxury of having the choice. Oh. There's a lot of luxury going on. Can we even consider playing Black River? When I don't want to play Black River for the reason that it would lose me lucky hit chance. But don't forget that we do actually have a Black River that we could also use. Get that one upgraded. So there's a world where Black River might be happening. Let's pull out the old Gigadot build just to get a feeling for what I put on things, because I barely remember what we actually used to put on things. I mean, seriously. Does anyone have like Giga? This is the Gigadot. Okay. What did our first version of the Gigadot rock? It had Disobedience and had Ultimate Shadows. Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe no. We had the Blighted aspect, okay. And we had Grasping Veins. Oh, for some reason he like removed the rings and everything from this. That's weird. Because he's opening it up like a tier 3. Well, that's the season 3 Gigadot. Why are you doing this? This is not the Gigadot I'm looking for. I was looking for the other Gigadot. The season 2 one. Oh, there. So that was running Mendel and Sacrilegious Souls. It had Lilith's Wall, Grasping Veins, Ultimate Shadow, and Blighted. Okay, we need Grasping Veins and we need Blighted, but I'm not sure about Ultimate Shadows. We don't need T-Bald's Will because that one doesn't work anymore. Interesting. We have a Pan's Aspect free. And we wanted to have Flickerstep. Okay. We want to play this as the Double Trouble. So since we're having... like, there's a thought that I might really want to play Army of the Dead. And I could do something stupid. Because right now, like... Army of the Dead, yeah. Like, I could play this with Black River. Then we could play this with the... how much lucky hit chance does the Howl have? There's also a good portion of lucky hit chance. With the highest roll lucky hit chance. That's actually the highest roll lucky hit chance. Howl also has lucky hit chance. Why is Howl so interesting? So as you asked, Chan, because Howl from Below provides bonus corpses. So if you would decide that you actually want to keep Army, right? Army here. Then the Army of the Dead would actually provide you with a huge lucky hit chance that can trigger Mendel, right? But it would also resummon your minions whenever you feel like it. And you would essentially just work on reducing that cooldown. My only concern is having the minions survive enough. I might just take minion damage reduction. Well, this is such a weird build. I'm all for it, chat. I'm all for it. Okay, so step 1. We're gonna start in the beginning of the board. We're gonna still potentially... so we could still take Mage Glyph to make our minions not die that much. But I'm not sure if I want to do that. I gotta see if I can have them survivally enough to not bother. What I need is that we amplify. So me and my minions do more damage against cursed enemies. That is like great because it comes for free, right? Then we would need to start in the cult leaderboard still. And this is going to be a very weird one because Pony, cult leaderboard, what the fuck? But we still need our minions to be surviving, okay? We don't need our minions to do any damage, right? But they need to survive. So we need to boost their damage reduction. So they would actually be better. And then you need to take another intelligence. Okay, so this is like sadly a mandatory node to take. Now we go into the Flesh Eater board. And the Flesh Eater board, you would have to go over this poison, because else we would die to poison damage. Damage versus elites. And if we want to, we could take here the Essence Glyph. But Essence Glyph would only get 34 plus. And for more plus, we would actually have to go back there. There's a possibility to do this. We'll think about it. Then we're going to the Scent of Death board. And Scent of Death would look like this. And out of the Scent of Death board, you could go here to add another board, which we need. And that would be the... it's rough. Probably the Bloodbath board. And that's going to be very weird. So the only thing I want to add here is the damage while healthy. But also with the plan of going down here. Because then we could all the way travel over to this. And still take... No, you know what I think is better? That was a mistake here on my side. Because one thing I need... Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. I need the Wither board. Forget about the Wither board. And we need to turn it... in a way where I could leave both sides. Because in the Wither board, you need the damage to elites. You would go in here for the shadow resistance. Potentially take the bonus shadow damage. But in the Imbiber Glyph that we don't have leveled right now. It's a bummer. And we could leave the whole thing up here to still get all these nodes. The Minion armor nodes might not be necessary. Only the Minion life nodes. I need way more willpower for this. Probably have to swap. I can't really swap. Promise I can't really swap many boards, right? Because all boards need to like one in and one out. I might be able to swap these boards. So what you want is you want to go out here to get the damage reduction, because that is damage reduction, bonus damage reduction from enemies affected by shadow effects. And then you're going to take that one too. Boom. Plus, you would be taking the bonus shadow damage over time. Okay, how am I in Good God's Earth able to tap into all of this? What the fuck? What did I just do? Oh, because I forget the glyph. Okay. See, I forget the glyph. And here we would take a non-leveled exploit. And we need 2 more points to make that work. And these 2 more points that we get out here. And have 3 points bonus that I could spend. If this is really Imbiber, I actually don't need to take the shadow resistance. So we just spend this on these two. Take more damage reduction and the shadow resistance here. YOLO. Okay. Damage over time does still not crit, no, but that's not the point. You're mostly trying to boost your physical damage. The problem is there's no physical damage boosting board. Even the bone graft board does boost critical strike damage with bone skills, critical strike damage with bone skills, bone skill damage. There's no board that boosts physical damage, which is kind of like an absolute bullshit. Okay, can this work? This is such a dumb idea. This is such an absolutely stupid idea that I have no clue if this can actually work in any capacity. I need a different amulet. Did I not have one with like gloom or something on it? Ranks to gloom, crowd control, damage movement speed. Crowd control needs to go down. Ranks to gloom, ranks to macabre, damage reduction, shadow damage over time. I like the damage reduction there. I don't like the macabre skills because they're useless, right? Problem is we're like putting our fingers in too many pots here right now. Technically. Intelligence, yeah, sure. Well, we'll just take that. Like, I'm not going to discuss much about this. I'm just going to take what I got here right now. So I just want to see if this has any merit. It seems like so stupid to even attempt what I'm doing here. Okay, what are my resistances say? Fire's missing. See, my resis are pretty damn good for someone that has nothing going on, right, Chad? What did I just do there? What did I just do there, Chad? Come on, destroy that one. No one saw this, right? Boop. Okay, where's my ruby? Ruby. We are not even over resistance. We're just like barely at any resistance cap happening. That makes me happy. Put that away. So the plan currently is we have Black River for a bunch of corpse explosions. The Hood Flesh is boosted so we make more corpses. So the maximum amount of corpses are being made, right? We have Corpse Explosion do like absolutely crazy damages, and then Corpse Explosion being able to explode. Then we have the Hell from Below make our corpses into Wandering Corpses, and these Wandering Corpses, because of the Army of the Dead, will actually leave behind even more corpses. So every corpse explosion leaves behind a corpse, Chad. But that's double corpses. My only problem is that I might be a little bit too squishy with this right now, and that's what we have to test now on a tier 100 dungeon here with Avenger, how this one feels. And my minions might also be too squishy, so the plan was actually swapping the chest now over to minion damage reduction, just like the flat, like your minions take 20% less damage. Oh, and we actually need to put the corpse tendrils on. Oops, almost made a beefy there. What's the Army of the Dead cooldown? The Army of the Dead cooldown is currently 47.5 seconds, which is not that much. Also, like, again, considering that we can reduce that even further, right? Minion damage. Oh my goodness, what is that thing called again? Like the minion damage reduction, like minions take 20% less damage? Is this that? Minion. Was it like minions take less? Minions gain increased damage? I had those. I'm not crazy. Minions gain increased damage reduction. Yeah. Minions gain. Wow, I really have only one of those? Screw that. Is it in the codex? Well, that's a bummer and a half. I'll say that much for free. Attack speed? No, I don't need attack speed on my minions. For this build, so the minions are actually not doing a single point of damage. Okay. Oh, I need to swap these two. Yeah, did you see that explosion, guys, for 2.2 million? That was my Mandeln or my X-Fel's Corroded Signet. Just random 2.2 million damage. Hehe. Oh no, I took too much damage. No. I mean, they're just dying to my damage, so that's perfect. Like the thought right now is either we play Army of the Dead, right? Or we're playing Bone Storm. So we can do both, but the thing is, if I play Bone Storm, I have to let go of so if I play Bone Storm, I have to let go of the Black River. Which might be better, because right now the Black River is essentially only in because I like the idea of having Black River in. The amount of explosions is crazy. Well, that's definitely working the way I want it to from a like damage standpoint. Why am I not resummoning my minions? Oh, it's not worth it. I just literally wait for my Army of the Dead. Ow, I don't know what killed me there. Just wait for my Army of the Dead to be active. Yeah, I was looking for the aspect of the hardened bones, so don't worry, that's what we were actually looking for. Yeah, right now we're just dying to like random things, and I wanted to make this build more tanky, so I think the idea with Black River is fun and the Army of the Dead, but like we wanted to make this build like more undying than the other one, and we're still dying, so that's a bit of a bummer. I mean, we do have the damage reduction essentially way higher than anything ever before, but the biggest problem is that despite the damage reduction being higher, you like, unless you have like all the barrier going on, like it's not going to be enough. It's just such a funny thing that like essentially all my corpse explosions are getting turned into skeletons that also get turned. I don't actually know if it even works correctly. This is like version 1 right now. So whenever you do a corpse explosion, guys, there's essentially 5 skeletons running out because of Black River. Black River explodes another 4 corpses. Okay, like here. And all these corpses, actually Black River, I don't know if Black River is sending out 5 at the same time. From what I think, Black River and Howl doesn't actually work together. Or does he send out one corpse and explode the other corpses? Wow, does Howl break Black River? Does Howl break Black River? That's what it seems like right now. It shoots only one, but does he explode the other corpses? That's like the question. Does he explode the other corpses in the meantime? Doesn't seem like because like look at the amount of corpses. Here's a lot of corpses, right? So if I do this, yeah, it also like eats the other corpses. Okay, it shoots only one but eats the other corpses. If it shoots only one but eats the other corpses, then it doesn't matter if we play Black River or not. Then we can actually ditch Black River. That doesn't mean though that I have to ditch the Army of the Dead. I could just play another aspect. And the good thing about Black River is it essentially allows you to just make more corpses, right? And you kind of like never want to run out of corpses. And I do like the idea of playing Army of the Dead to just make like more corpses. My problem is that you can't take the other ultimate skills when one is taken, correct? Like I cannot, can I put my skills into 2 ultimates? I have actually never tried. Can I put my skills into 2 ultimates and not, I can't use 2 ultimates in my bar, right? But can I put my skills into 2 ultimates? Oh, that one. Okay, well, is that possible? I'm not ready. I mean, damage-wise, this is going smooth as butter, right? Like having the X-Felds explode things, having my things going on, like you've seen like how much damage we partially deal there, right? There's a 1 million hit, there's another hit, like everything just dies. It's actually really cool. So from a damage standpoint, I'm really happy with what we're just generally outputting here, especially for this build. Why can you put skills? So like, why would I want to put skills into, like, right now what I need is the Army of the Dead, volatile skeletons leaving behind corpses. So Army of the Dead has one under point that says volatile skeletons leave behind corpses. And right now, every single corpse explosion I make makes a volatile skeleton. But that would mean that every corpse explosion I do at the same time creates a corpse. So if I could now put my, if I could now put points into that while I'm still using Bone Storm, like I essentially just want this bonus volatile skeleton because it's such a amazing thing to have. But I don't actually need to play Army of the Dead, if that makes sense. So if I could avoid playing Army of the Dead, but I could get the bonus of Army of the Dead, then you would have me like absolutely happy. You're a bit ginormous, sir. I don't like the size you've grown to, my friend. How many hours you get in D4 and you ask that? Thousands, but I've just literally never tried. You know, like it's one of the things I've just never tried because it never occurred to me that I would need that. Because usually it's like one ultimate there. Like, I mean, obviously you can't use 2 ultimates, right? But I've never gotten to the idea of, well, can I use both? In terms of like at least the passives of bows. Right? Damage wise, this is working. Defense wise, we need to work on it. I mean, do you notice, by the way, how our minions are mostly dead? But it really doesn't matter because we're just essentially having Army of the Dead cooldown almost every single fight. So despite our minions being actually dead often and our minions not doing any damage, like there's Army of the Dead again. So you essentially don't have to care about your minions' survival because we're using Army of the Dead. I kind of like this from a convenience standpoint, I have to say. Makes this whole build like more fun to play. Our armor is at 12,000. I could get another 1,000 armor, I think. So this is what I have to do Paragon-wise, Chad. More armor. I thought I was actually armored out, but now that I know I need more armor, this is actually not a problem. So I can get a 13,000 armor. Maybe I can play this completely without... Maybe I leave it like this. I'm loving this right now. Like from a play style, it's so much fun, you know? Oh, this is unique. This is... Well, we'll have to see, like, if I can make this survive a bit more. And right now, see, like, I hate it when you just suddenly take this amount of damage that you shouldn't be taking. But due to my amount of, Army of the Dead. I'm essentially using Army of the Dead as a nuking skill because Army of the Dead has a 100% lucky hit chance, guys. That means when I shoot Army of the Dead at my enemies, I am more or less guaranteed to get a proc on my Mendeln ring. And that means all my 11 minions that are alive, that Army of the Dead is also resummoning, are going to be slapping it. Okay, let's put all the nuisance down here. Wait for the elites. I mean, this one now with Corpse Generals should be easier than ever because I have been playing this the last rooms always without Corpse Generals. But you know, notice how my Corpse General cooldown is like more or less always up, right? When I still have to look out that I don't get accidentally killed by fire enchantments because I tend to like walk into them. I will need my minions back, but that's easy. There you go, minions back. Dude, we're just shredding that. Yeah, this was fun. This is fun. I like it. Working very good. I mean, now let's improve my armor a bit. Again, we're playing without barrier. I cannot carry more. Would darkness boots boost shadow? Oh, that's a good point. The problem is we don't have the aspect slots for it. I mean, technically, our chest summon pulled together is not needed. We need Imbiber maximum leveled up because Imbiber is going to be a huge damage boost. Get this one damaged up as well. Let's see. Let's see what we can do. Don't you get essence back when they die too? What do you mean? Essence back when they die too? The skeletons? No, you wouldn't get essence back. Okay, let's see. Maximum life, essence. No. I still need a new chest piece, mostly with maximum life. Critical strike damage, core skill damage, not bad. Critical strike chance, maximum minion life, cool. The rest is shit. damage rad. The rest is shit. I don't need more rings. Resource generation, maximum life. Oh god, you could have been so beautiful if you weren't so shit. Did my neck have damage reduction? Yeah, it did have damage reduction. Where do you get the support stones for the mechanical spider, the unique ones? From Malphas. For that, you need to gather igneous cores. Igneous cores you get from the heralds of Malphas in the respective areas. Yeah. By the way, this was a tier 100 dungeon, guys. Just in case you wondered, this was a tier 100 dungeon. Should we try to check out how fast we can kill Varshan? I mean, Varshan is the only Uber boss I have right now. So let's just kill an Uber boss with it and see how much damage we do. How many inches are you, Ponyhoff? Thank you for asking. Appreciate it. So let's see. But what do you think, guys, from what you saw right now? Does this live up like to what we wanted it to do? Does it not live up? This like not like, you know, how did it feel? I mean, the deathies were annoying, but I'm not mad at the deathies. It's more like, yeah, expected. Some deathies at least. So like the plan optimally would be, Chan, that I could put points into this and then I could put also points into that, because you need prime Army of the Dead. When Army of the Dead's volatile skeletons explode, they have a chance to leave behind a corpse, right? But these volatile skeletons also work here for some reason, or used to work. I need to actually confirm if they work. I need to confirm if that works. Look, chat. Look. That's some nice damage over time, right? So wait, if I now make a corpse explosion, that makes a skeleton. That skeleton dies and it doesn't leave behind a corpse. Well, I could change the build then. It's just not good there. So we can change still the Arcane Armor of the Void for whatever I want to. I mean, right now we're just one single total armor percentage roll off actually having all the armor, right? So we're essentially just missing a total armor percentage or a better Juggernaut roll. I mean, I can essentially just check if I have a higher roll Juggernaut right now. Correct? We have a higher roll Juggernaut. Here, that's 4,000. That's 5,000. 5 here, 5.9. See, I can just take this one with a 5.9 and I'm essentially armored out. So that's good. Can you run Fist of Fate here? You can run Fist of Fate. There's no question. But I don't know if Fist of Fate has a lucky hit chance in itself. Fist of Fate actually does not have an intrinsic lucky hit chance. It's not worth it because you would need the intrinsic lucky hit chance from Fist of Fate to truly get like the most out of that. Right now we get like 4.5 from that, right? And this is 5.9, and you kind of see like that would instantly give us enough armor to not have to struggle anymore. Damn. It's enough armor, but what am I going to put on my chest, guys? What am I going to put on my chest? When you could essentially put the skeletal mages from your boots over to your chest, because then you could play the Glyphs technically. But the problem with the Glyphs is you would play the Glyphs and they would say, create desecrated ground beneath your Sever specters as they travel, damaging enemies for 4,000 shadow damage over 2 seconds. What it does though, damage reduction from shadow damage over time affected enemies, cool. Essence cost reduction, cool. And then lucky hit chance with a shadow damage. So you would essentially then play Sever over Blight. But Sever just has such an atrocious lucky hit chance that freaks me out, and I don't want to do that. The thing is, the desecrated ground that Sever creates, and if I'm not completely mistaken, that desecrated ground can also trigger lucky hits. So technically, there is a world where these boots could be good, right? Well, we can try this out and see how that goes. I mean, it's just going to be a net total less damage. But I kind of like the idea of playing the Glyphs to a degree. Like, to a degree. Let's try that. Schnids, welcome back. Schnids, how are you doing? How's the body? Hope everything is going good for you. Kaboom also, thank you for the 53 centuries of support. You started D4 again. Love to hear that, brother. Okay, let's upgrade the Glyphs. Put them on. Put the skeleton mages on the chest then. And that'd be Glyphs in. We put Blight out. Use Sever. Worst part is the lucky hit chance of Sever, but Sever has like multiple portions of lucky hit. So Sever hits multiple targets. Then Sever also does another damage on the return. So that also does damage. And now Sever also leaves behind desecrated ground that, if I'm not mistaken, can trigger as well. Which brings me, by the way, back though. If we do actually do that, then we should probably go back to Skeletal Mages to be Frost to actually give us the bonus essence so we can use more Sever. And our chest would need Skeletal Mages. Warriors, Mages. Thank you very much. Let's see if that actually works. Can we use Doombringer with... Well, so the problem about Doombringer is that Doombringer is a lucky hit chance, right? And Doombringer could trigger to do more damage. X-Fel's Corroded Signet is better than that. And you have Black River. Black River also hires the damage of your corpse explosion by 130%. So sure, you could, if you wanted to, play... Doombringer. There's just no reason. Okay, let's see. Motion heads, I love to hear that. I'm happy life's looking better. pull everything together. Sever. See, now we're throwing Severs in. Wow. Okay, that was a lot of lucky hit chance triggers there. I need to change my bot because my bot is still the old one for the first version of this build.
I need more time.
Because the only thing we'd be missing is the damage over time from the pools of be missing the damage over time from the pools of shadow that the blight creates.
I need more time. I'm out of essence. I'm not ready yet.
Everything just dies. It's funny. I'm just not sure about like if this is much more efficient than the other version. Funny it is definitely.
I'm not ready.
Oh wow, we get killed. Ouch. You need it like so it's definitely more lucky hit chance, right, with your shadow skills. So you get a bonus in lucky hit chance by 7.2%, which is great. I mean, every bit of lucky hit chance counts. I'm still just in the process of considering if I even need all of this when you I'm not sure who of you actually kills me there instant. So I'm not sure if I need that if you have like if it would be just better to swap like River out. So that's like the consideration. What if we just swap like River out? And essentially say screw you because we just get Black River out, you know? Because then with Black River out, stuff just looks maybe just straight up better. Because like putting Black River out instantly gives us like 15% lucky hit chance more. Right now we're like trying to fix things that maybe don't need fixing. Running Sever now? No, we're not running Sever now. We're still considering things. So we're trying to make this build work the way how I imagined in my head. I mean, like there's two versions of this build, the super tanky version and the less tanky version. But I'm just like, I'm still in the process of vetting which one I want to play. Because I could just make the super tanky version, but that one is like the easy way out, if that makes sense, you know? It would be like the easiest choice. Like I make the super tanky version that survives everything. But I'm also like have to consider what about the leaderboards, you know? I mean the leaderboards got delayed, so again, like testing that will be a bit far off. But this, for example, versus a tier 70 dungeon, we would just slice through that like there's no tomorrow. And we just also just kill one of the Uber bosses like in no time. That's like the thing. You're doing crazy damage. You see like all these elites here, they're just dying to your shadow damage over time, to your lucky hits, to everything. That's just working exactly as intended. Like the damage output like compared to your actual build is just so much higher. We can still use minions, so that's like really fun. And we're essentially at the same damage output that a Bone Spear build has, only that we do it like that we need our triggers for it, and that's always like the slowdown mechanic, right? Yes, you notice my skeletons are mainly dead, but we don't care about that. We just summon new ones with our Army of the Dead. If I wouldn't play Army of the Dead, I would essentially just consistently be busy re-summoning my skeletons. So I'm kind of like at the point where if I really want to play this without like feeling like this is annoying to play, then I'm kind of like in the must of playing Army of the Dead. Because else you're just continuously sitting there and resummoning them. And the only way to fix that would be by...
I'm not ready yet.
Playing Ring of Sacrilegious Souls. But if we play the Ring of Sacrilegious Souls, then we can't play Ixfeld and Mendel together. And that's sad. Right? Oh, did you see how they died there? Chat, do you see how they died? Everything just went poof. What we also need to do is we still need to just swap out the companion, because right now we're playing the companion still with him actually taunting and mocking things, but we don't need that because we have the damage now. Like before, the build was like missing the damage, so in prolonged fights we were always taking damage because of the fights just taking longer, right? So there was like this problem where, what if the fights take longer, then we end up in that situation where we take like unwanted damage because like we're not fast enough killing the enemy. Now on the contrary, we're at the point where we kill the enemy fast enough, so it doesn't like really matter that we have our bot taunting things, because we just kill things, right? I kind of want to walk in here, but there's like poison everywhere, so I'm just gonna get poisoned while I just walk in there. All my lats died, but again, I'm not even gonna bother resummoning them. Right? Like just only our things resummon them. Okay, we need to Sever is not 8 chat. I mean, do you feel like this is better clearing speed with Sever? I'm not feeling the Sever, you know? Even though at least behind this desecrated ground, oh god, no, I get stun. Raise and protect. Oh, we're already, no, protect is bad, so we're already using safeguard. Safeguard is needed. I mean, that being said, it doesn't matter how much defense you, by the way, put down, guys. I like, even with like all the damage reduction in the world, even with like 40,000 armor and everything, you can still die to the constructs, because there is something weird on the damage side of the constructs, that's for sure. I'm not sure what it is, like, called conspiracy theorists, chat. But they're doing more damage than they're legally allowed to do so. Because you're essentially like fully resistance out, right? You have like all the protection you could be asking for. And yet, despite having all the protection you could be asking for, the minions are doing like damage that makes no sense sometimes. And you're just like, sir, like he's not able to shoot through the doorway. Like, sir, you shouldn't be able to do that to me, but you know, like, you do you. Sever on gloves, that would just give you more ranks than Sever that wouldn't higher the damage that much. It's like, it's not a damage question, it's more like a smoothness of everything question. And Sever just doesn't, like, I'm not feeling the lucky hit triggers as I did with the other stuff. What we can do, we can definitely swap out the gloves now. I'm still playing the Howl from below, and they can actually go away. Because the only reason to play the Howl was because of the Army of the Dead bug that used to actually spawn minions. But since that ain't happening anymore, we can swap that out, and then we have another offensive aspect, so we can make the build stronger. Chat, we can actually make the build stronger. Because you would add like another 15% lucky hit chance.
I'm not ready yet.
Oh, Son of Malphus. It's cute.
I'm not ready yet.
All my boys love the Son of Malphus. All my boys, I mean me and the skeletons, Chan. Do we want to be bothered? Oh yeah, you just jumped where I wasn't. Appreciate it. This damage is like so weird when I'm like making all my pools of shadow and when I'm all making my goopies and whatsoever. You always get to the point where like I don't see where you're attacking, sir. Why are we using the bug? Well, it's not that we're using a bug. It was just interesting to know that it used to work. When it was really funny to have like all your volatile skeletons make like cool amounts of corpses and everything. You know how cute that was? One of my favorite interactions in the game. You see the last room with this build is like a joke because you're just pulling everything together, right? And then you're pulling everything together and then you're pulling everything together and then you're pulling everything together. And then everything just dies to your pools of poison. Right? I mean, we still gotta look out to not stand like in elemental hazards, but it's not like that we're in danger, you know? Unless we walk into elemental hazards, right? And we're definitely in danger. Perfect. We could add more damage. So what we could do is we could try to add exhumation right now. What's exhumation? Exhumation is a glyph that gives me more corpse skill damage. But consuming a corpse fortifies you and gives you bonus fortify. So maybe I have to play exhumation. I don't really want to play it. But it might make sense.
My burden is too great.
Yeah, let's try that one out. Do you want to get into World of Warcraft PvP? No, I have my time. With World of Warcraft PvP back in the days, and it will never come back the way it was. You know? I had my good old rank 14 times back in the days when the game was very new, and I've done my time, and I have no interest in ever doing my time again. It's been enough, more than enough. Nothing good. Imperfectly balanced. Shadow damage over time. Willpower end. Devotion damage, no. Ranks to amplify damage, all curses. I mean, you know what? It would be good if you wouldn't be shit. Yeah, back to Blight and 1 will be huge. No, not 1. I think the Black River actually stays right now. I like the idea of the Black River staying. I mean, it might be like too many cooks, you know, are not good. The problem is if I use the Black River, I use critical strike damage as well. So you're essentially weakening yourself by adding more damage to it. But I think it's going to be still a net total higher damage. So we're essentially doing a lot of... Yeah, we're throwing a lot of things that are maybe not... shouldn't be thrown together into the frame. But oh, crit chance in... So cool. You're not cool. You suck. New Year event live? No, the New Year event is coming. Don't worry about that, but it's not live yet. Okay, so we need to get rid of the gloves. So Howl from below go out. Boots go out. Then we take our Blight gloves back in. Blight. Where we put them. Blight gloves go back in. That's also more lucky hit. Now the question about boots, Chad. What do we play? I mean, technically Flickerstep would be a good idea. Because Flickerstep would also higher the damage of our Army of the Dead. I mean, if you think about it, right? We get damage reduction and our Army of the Dead
Need more time.
gets, it's currently at 6,000, like here. So we put this off, it's at 6,500 damage. We put this on, it's at 6,000, it's 8,000 whatever damage, and we upgrade this. And Army of the Dead is almost at like 10,000 damage, right? So that actually works. And also if we dash through things, like we get it better. Well, the amount of uniques we're using for this, right? Like just like, hey chat, just 4 uniques and you can play this. Okay, which boss should we kill? Should we do another Varshan? But Varshan is so easy. Like I kind of want to do like a Duriel for you, but I don't have a Duriel to do right now. I would have to like farm the overworld to get you a Duriel. Agrees with the MD2 map Lucky Hit. Yeah, we know Melfire, but we are not going to use Sever because Sever is not worth it. So if we're not about to use Sever, Grease of the Empty Tomb feel like weird to use, you know? Especially because Blight also does the damage over time that essentially triggers everything we need. So no need to use Sever, yes, but again, the thing is you would get the lucky hit, but I also have like the I get like, oh wow, that's so much more damage now. That was crazy. So also the boots give me like cooldown reduction, and as you can see, if I pull things together, I just dash through them, right? So you actually pull things together and then you dash through them, and you get like cooldown reduction. The thing we would have to look for though, and this is something to generally consider, that we are right now having Juggernaut running for like 14,000 armor, right? But it might be better to swap over to Disobedience, because else my dash is too long on a cooldown. I mean, the basic idea is to always have like Army of the Dead. Every single fight to have like Army of the Dead, because Army of the Dead is like the perfect engage. See, I dash through them, like again, cooldown reduction. And this is working. This is working like way smoother than it has any right to from a feeling perspective right now. Yeah, this just works so smooth. It's stupid. Army of the Dead. Pull them together. Kill them. I like this. I mean, like, this is crazy because it has no right to work this way. And it's like funny because we can use Mendeln and that. The level of those mobs, well, this is a tier 100. If I test a build, I always test it on a tier 100. Okay. Can you look at, is there a place where you can look for this build? No, because we just made this build this very morning, so I'm very sorry for that. Like, we do these builds live for you to get your input as well on these builds, and like your feedback on what you think, and if you have like any suggestions, and if you say like we should change some stuff. See, like my minions died again, but we don't literally care because we got Army of the Dead almost back up again. By the way, one thing we wanted to change, breaking, arcing, gripping, that can stay, but gyrate goes out for Flash of Adrenaline now. Flash of Adrenaline with duration, safeguard support, and tactical to just have that up. So now everything I do gets another 20% bonus damage, Chan. The fun part is that like Army of the Dead engagement also provides straight up corpses. Like you see, we just started and my Army of the Dead is almost back up again, Chan. Right? Almost back up again. Like essentially the duration of Army of the Dead is over, and there it is again. Boom. Dash through these guys, instant cooldown reduction, pull them all together, dash through them again, and Army of the Dead almost back up again.
I need more time.
Like as you can see, my minions are more or less like, I've never have like the full amount of minions alive, which is okay because we're not aiming for this. We're literally not aiming to have like all minions alive at any point. We're just aiming to have like have the minions when we do Army of the Dead, have the minions when we pull everything together, right? There's Army of the Dead again, active. We just got done. So like next engagement, we just resummon them. Boom, all minions back. Then again, boom, dash through it. Dash through it again. Pull. No dash because I didn't have the things going on. Army of the Dead again. Curse, dash, pull. Dash, curse.
I need more time.
Explode everything really fast. Explode everything again. Army of the Dead. Make sure we're not dying. Everything together. Get frozen because I'm a bot. Get frozen because I'm a bot. Lose all my potions because I'm a bot. Die because I'm a bot. Thank you for the potions. Thank you for not dying. Pull everything together. So we have everything together again. Dash through.
I'm not ready.
You're like in the process of like constantly having like the battlefield control with like permanent cooldown reduction, right? And like constantly having everything back up. It's like, it works.
I need more time.
Just does exactly what I needed it to do. I mean, you're still vulnerable, right? That doesn't change the fact, like, you're still vulnerable because you're, matter of fact, don't have like any fancy barrier going on. When I only have 16,000 life and 14,000 armor, right? And you would assume that with that life, armor, and the lightning resistance and the damage resistances I have, you should not die. The answer is you still die to some really weird things in between. So it's just like literally welcome to Diablo at that point. where you might have done everything that you can do humanly possible for resistances, like, you know, like the Diablo 12 Zir feeling, where you're like, okay, I resistanced everything out, like, right, I have everything perfection, and this should, like, technically there should be no reason why we die, but oh, I'm dead, you know. You're like, sure, but like, I don't know why. You're just left hanging there. That's a bit of Diablo 4 in a nutshell, you know.
I need more time.
Have you experimented with the golem only shadow dot necro? Yeah, but that's a complete different build than this here. So this is right now, like, the plan right now here is to make maximum use of Ring of Mendeln and Ixfeld's Corroded Signet. Like, we're talking about millions of damage from both, millions of damage from Mendeln, millions of damage from Ixfeld, while also our Corpse Explosion is doing millions of damage on the side. So we're essentially having our minions do millions of damage, our Ring of Mendeln doing our Ixfeld's doing millions of damage, and then our minions with the Mendeln doing millions of damage as well. So we're like, and then again, our Shadow Blight Key passive also does millions of damage because it can actually like do that. And then our actual like Corpse Explosions also trigger for 1 million per dot, on top of everything, like, kind of, and that like, you know. Do you have a scaling issue? No, because you can't scale physical. So there's one very important thing. The only way to scale physical is over equipment. You cannot scale physical damage per se with anything the Necro does. There's no physical scaling glyph. There's no physical scaling node or whatsoever. You can scale bone damage or whatsoever, and that's like kind of the upset, because you can actually not scale Mendeln directly as is, right? You can only proxy scale it by getting 100% bonus damage. So if I use shadow skills and I do shadow damage over time and I stack them enough, then I do bonus damage to like 100% bonus damage, and that scales the Mendeln. But if I'm already using shadow skills to scale my damage by 100% or 120% to be precise, so if I'm already doing that, why am I not just also adding the Ring of Mendeln and Ixfeld's Corroded Signet to the fray? When I'm already scaling everything, right? I'm already making my damage higher. I'm already making sure that I'm just absolutely destroying everything. So why would I not, if that is what I'm already doing, just not do even more of that? And this leads to me just absolutely obliterating like everything with the Army of the Dead plus the Mandelen combination. And especially since I'm adding Black River to the fray, I am getting another source of permanent corpses. Because the thing is, right now we're using Army of the Dead, and Army of the Dead is the most useless skill in existence, but it's not, because Army of the Dead is creating another 23 corpses or so, right? And Black River is corpse hungry. So right now I'm using one skill that is technically considered the worst skill in the game, but the worst. Oh my god, I just got a Black River. Oh my god, I got 3 uniques. This is not a boosted streamer account. That's not a boosted streamer account. Like that. This is not a boosted streamer account. I'm a lucky bitch. Pre-recorded. This is pre-recorded. Exactly. It's pre-recorded. Like, yeah, I'm sorry. Pre-recorded. Good. So we just got another Black River, which is not. This is better than my Black River. This is. I mean, look at this. So this Black River has more corpse skills. This Black River has a higher percentage damage. This has a lower intelligence roll, but it has the one more rank in the Hood Flesh. It has like 8% more damage. Yeah, ooh, cool. Then I got a Grease of the Empty Tomb in 925 max roll right now, where everything, oh my goodness, this is max rolled. This has 10% lucky hit chance with shadow damage bonus, 10% damage reduction, and the essence cost reduction as well. And then we get another Penitent Grease, which is also not on a max roll, so that one goes away. What a bunch of robbery. Like literally, like everyone just got gunpoint robbed. Like there's no room for discussion. There's no arguments here. This is a shrubbery chat, and you just get had. Okay, so this maximum minion life and damage reduction, and that's useless. Thank you very much that we talked about this. That is useless. What we could do is we could try to look for a shield for this build. Can a shield have maximum minion life? I know this sounds like a weird question. I know that a focus can have maximum minion life, but can a shield have maximum minion life? Because I don't know. Galzery, thank you for the 87 months. Tribute with a 28. Twibby, welcome back. X-Strike with a 61. And Eintara with a 73. That's my old timers, ladies and gentlemen. My actual old timers. They're all still there. Old timers sounds like your broken down cars, but you know what I mean. No, my old timers, my personal ones. Babe Galzery, you did, and we appreciate it. Okay, that Black River is better than the current Black River I have, which is stupid. Do I just break that Black River then? Okay. So we could take these boots, guys, and they would give us essentially another 10% lucky hit chance. I mean, right now we are at 36 is not really a lot. Then again, I have 54% here, 34 here, 27 there, 87% there, so it's kind of fine. So shields can have maximum minion life too. This would be an option to technically swap in a shield, because right now our glyph aspect, our glove aspect, like we have one free aspect currently, chat. Any suggestion what you would like to see on gloves? Anyone? I mean, technically we could put the gloves away and we could play here Fists of Fate, right? But the Fists of Fate, they don't have any like thingy, so there's, I think, no unique gloves I would like to see. We could play a unique offhand, so we could swap our offhand away to play the Lidless Wall, but we don't use Bone Storm, so that's bullshit. There's no unique focus, I think, as well. So what glove aspect could we actually use that would make any sense right now? Oh, we're not using Co-Leader on this board, Slayer. This is not a minion. This is not a minion board. Any glove aspects? I mean, we can have our Shadow Blight key passive stacking for more damage. We could have I mean, like, you could play Unyielding Commander, but that would be useless. Would that be useless? I mean, Rathma Chosen, Reanimation, Retribution, Serration. No, none would make sense. Shared Misery, Swelling Curse, Damned. I mean, Double Curse, but Double Curse wouldn't work. Void wouldn't work. Void would work, but wouldn't work. My lightest aspect. I mean, the gloves could have the skeletons. The chest could then have minion damage reduction, but I don't want that. Consuming corpse increase the damage for your next core skill. That's also kind of useless. And we could have our skeletons do like have our skeletons do blizzard, but that's also useless. There's nothing I really want. It's actually really sad that there's nothing I really want. Like nothing at all. At all. But what we could do is, chat, we could technically play Unyielding Commander, which sounds weird because we don't want Unyielding Commander, right? But what you could do is, like, we could still buff our minions' attack speed, but it's more about we could make them undying. So Army of the Dead is active, your minions gain attack speed and get reduced damage. So instead of just worrying about damage reduction on my minions, I just make them not die. Okay, step one, let's go to Varshan for another time just to show you why Army of the Dead is so interesting. Because usually if you go as a Shadow Necro to any kind of boss, right? You end up with, like, not having the damage, right? So we're here. And we have Black River, which wants us to make corpses, correct? I need a tier 100 boss, Chan. You know what? I need a dungeon with a tier 100 boss. Deserted Underpass, Condor Temple. Does Howling Warrant or Condor Temple have a boss? Does anyone know? If any one of these has. Need a tier 100 boss. See, right now we would just do this and that would essentially spawn a bunch of corpses, and now we have like all the corpses we need for him, and then he just straight away dies. Boom, and that's it, done. You know? And usually the problem is getting the corpses, but now we are just like, fuck. Can you get another defensive offensive ability to swap offense anywhere? See, that's what my thought was with the offense. So my offense needs lucky hit chance and critical strike chance and max minion life and cooldown reduction. But if that can be had on a shield, I don't need the bonus damage. I could just take a shield. Right? How did his health do that? Or dot? No, it's Ixfeld and Ring of Mendel. If my Ring of Mendel triggers and I have my boost going on, then every single minion hits for 1 to 4 million. If the Ixfeld triggers, it's 4 to 5 million. Okay, so that's kind of like where the damage is actually coming from. My problem, for example, is I could show you now how to kill Uber Lilith, but I don't have the dashes to kill Uber Lilith. Okay, now let's see. Does Commodore Temple Lights Refuge? Wait, Lights Refuge has a boss. I'm 99% sure that Lights Refuge has a boss. Did you do Duriel? I don't have Duriel materials right now, so I can't show Duriel damage. Oh god, it's the worst kind of enemies. It's actually okay because I can really keep them away from me. That's like the advantage of this build. Like you can, due to the way how the build actually works, just keep everyone like completely away from you. Because I have like the cooldown reductions and everything happening, right? So just make the corpses, get everything cooldown, make more corpses, have our minions be like cool, and keep everything away from us. Keep everyone away from us harder. Everything dies. Okay. This Light's like... Let me not be wrong about Light's Refuge having a boss. I'm pretty sure it does. Oh god, I'm lost. I'm not sure where to go, Chan.
I'm not ready yet.
Am I on the right track? Haven't done this dungeon in ever. No, I need to go up. I need to go up? Yeah, I think we're good. Sean, good to see you there. I can sponsor Duriels if a showcase is needed. Yeah, but I always feel like terrible about stealing this from you. Decompose goes crazy with X-Felds. Yeah, but Decompose is horrible to use. I mean, you have to stand still or like stutter, stab, spam, decompose. It just feels horrible. Also, the decompose lucky hit chance thingy, like the way how decompose lucky hits kind of like works is a little bit bugged. And I usually try to stay away from many bugged things. When then I can also just play Barbarian and feel like bugged beyond belief. Right? Oh, almost just, oh my goodness, almost just ran in there. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Oh, it's okay. I survived somehow. I don't actually know how I survived that. Dude, this build solves like all the problems that Mendome builds usually have. And that is your minions die and you have to resummon them. But your minions don't die. You don't have to resummon them. Because, well, I just resummon them like all the time with Army of the Dead. Oh, we're already at the boss. Perfect. Okay. This build has me amused beyond belief. Right now, we need to get our cooldown reduction going, Chan. Quickly. Okay, done. Okay, chat. Again, 3 bosses, right? Army of the Dead. Get them all stunned, perma stun, because that's how it works. Have our shit go off here. If you wonder why I'm not boosting my skeleton damage ever, because it's completely useless and I don't need to heal them. Yeah, tier 100 bosses also just getting plummeted. The best part is not running out of corpses. Like I can just spam corpse explosion. We never run out. I mean this is a stupid minion build, chat. Okay, listen, this is a stupid minion build, and we just speedran that. What I'm trying to get is right now the corpse exhumation. Why would exhumation be so good? So right now, what I consider doing is, guys, I want to I could be cutting out Dead Razor and say fuck the damage reduction of my minions. Okay. Because end of the day, this only gives me like another, like, right? This only gives me another 15% damage reduction. Like, fuck that. We could play the Exhumation Glyph. And the Exhumation Glyph would give me more corpse damage. But the corpse damage is not the interesting part. The interesting part is that I fortify for every corpse I use. So if I now do Army of the Dead, right? And Army of the Dead leaves behind all these corpses, right? This is Army of the Dead leaving behind all the corpses. And I do 1 corpse explosion with Black River. Boom. 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 And we're almost fortified, right? That's it. That's just the start of the game, right? I'm almost fortified. And I would get another 4%, so 14% damage reduction for fortified. Tire Max, thank you very much for your support and the nice words. I do greatly appreciate it, sir. It's very kind of you to do. Let's do 2 more dungeons so we could get the thing leveled up. Okay. Chad? Let's do 2 more dungeons so we can get this leveled up and then we can vibe ourselves in. I've introduced my friends to look at guides for your YouTube channel. Well, that's what I'm hoping for. Word of mouth. Hey, Mark, you're good to see you there. Okay, this has no right to work this well. I'm like, I don't understand how this is working so damn well. You want to know what the funny part about this build is, guys? This is truly a new build that has never been there before. But that was possible. So this build is possible since like Xfeld is out, but no one actually thought about putting this together.
I'm not ready yet.
And the only reason why we're playing this right now is because I finally understood, I think, Army of the Dead as the skill it is, because so far it was always like I don't know how to like use Army of the Dead in anything that's not a minion build, right? But that's the thing, we want to use Army of the Dead not necessarily for a minion build, because there's no need that it would need that. But this is like literally fixing all our boss killing corpse issues. That's what Black River always has, corpse issues, but you don't have any more corpse issues because of Army of the Dead. Never. Actually, the funniest way to do this. Do you have a Discord by any chance? We do have a Discord and we do talk Diablo there as well, so you can join. I think the like ! Discord link should work. I'm not sure if I fixed it already. Like there used to be a broken link. Oh, by the way, here guys, we are fortified. So that means right now that due to exploding corpses, I am fortified. So just what I do, my minions die anyways, right? Where do you get the Ring of Mendel and Beast of Ice? Okay, this is crazy. Like, I made a new necro build. That's fun. I thought we had discovered everything, chat, but this might even be very good for the gauntlet. Because now again, like, consider this in a tier 70 dungeon right now. Correct, chat? My minions are dying in a tier 100. My minions are currently going down. But now imagine this in a tier 70 where everything is weaker, where everything has less damage and health. Right? And we would still be doing this. And we would still not have the problem of corpses versus bosses. So we could instantly make corpses versus bosses. And we would take less damage as well. Shall we do a tier 70 after this? Shall we try a tier 70 just to see like how it feels, like from a minion survivability and my own survivability standpoint as well? I mean, we still died there. Why? Because I stood in a pool of frost, right? Stood in a pool of frost, died. I'm stupid. All minions dead. That would be shitty for this build, but we don't care because we just go in and summon all minions back again, right? Explode all these billions of corpses instantly again pulled together. Like we just have our opponents, and we're instantly fortified again. Oh, that's a cursed chest. I don't actually like cursed chests are so cool while leveling. And when you're done leveling, it's always like, cursed chest, huh? Yeah, how about we just ignore that? Everything gets pulled together, then everything gets pulled together another time. And you guess right, Chad? Nothing gets pulled together because we die from the one dude that's on the other side of the room that's targeting me for some reason. Yep. You know, like, we stand here in this doorway, and there in this doorway is a dude, and on the range, he actually decides that targeting me is exactly what he wants to do, so that's how you die. Now, most of my deaths are definitely down to me just not giving a damn and not playing slow, you know? Because I don't want to play slow. I want to see, like, what happens when you essentially try to max this build, right? Well, what happens when I try to rush with this build? Because that's what people do, right? People don't chill. People don't take their time. People have no chill. They just want to zoom. So that's where I'm always like, you know, if I already have a problem zooming with the build, then I would assume that the standard person that's zooming is going to have a bigger problem with this. Then again, I don't know. Are you zooming, chat? Are you playing it? Are you playing it slow? What's your modus operandi usually? Are you rushing? Are you more like, you know, step by step, especially when it comes down to tier 100 dungeon? Are you killing everything? How do you play your dungeons, right?
I'm not ready.
Oh, I just walked in there. I just walked in there without cooldowns. That could have potentially turned horrible. Luckily, we really do have the freaking, like, I mean, look at the corpse center cooldown is 6 seconds, Chan. I mean, that means it's just instant, right? I mean, 6 seconds is nothing. My dude's back up again. Due to the amount of corpse channels we actually do, we might even consider there's an aspect that gives you more damage when things are unstoppable. And things get unstoppable, like, the more often you pull them together, right? They get like this, like, they become unstoppable because you, like, stunt them too often.
I'm not ready
right?
yet.
My wife still has nightmares from Sork teleporting 24/7. Honestly, like, I don't, as much as I like Sork, like, teleporting is cheating. I said it. I'm not taking it back. Screw you, Sorks. Yeah, that aspect has a 40% multiplier. Exactly. Their stream is frozen. That's weird. It shouldn't be. Goodbye TikTok stream then. It was nice while it lasted. My TikTok is kind of like digging its own grave a little bit with their streaming tool, because they're forcing every streamer to use like a very weird streaming tool to even stream to TikTok. Oh, there's a gobbo. You know what that means, chat? There's a butcher in this dungeon. Yes, it's confirmed, by the way. Unconfirmed, confirmed, unconfirmed. There's a gobbo in the dungeon. There's also a butcher. You know. You can't share builds on Discord. Only Mobalytics links. Because that's where I put all my builds in. And whenever I go on max roll, I don't understand the website. Like when people send me max roll builds of their builds, I'm just like, I don't even know what to look at. Like, I'm just kind of like, oh, there's a tab and there's weird. And then like, I don't know where that is. And then I'm like, I don't want to even look at that. So yeah, if you want to like post me builds, like, you know, things to look at, I usually use Mobalytics for that. Did you see how fast all of them just died, guys, because of the masses of shadow damage over time? Oh god, no, I just walked into that stun. Ow. I deserve that, honestly. Blood Surge build is ready. The Blood Surge build is ready. Nothing needs to be changed. It is 100% ready. I just have to make the video. So yeah, there you go. Man, we made the video today about the summoner for people that were looking for the summoner, because I promised to rep that up. Then tomorrow is the Blood Surge build. Probably after tomorrow is going to be this build So right now, the next 8 days is going to be builds after builds, chat. But that depends actually how much time my Sork is going to take, because tonight we're going live to level my Sorceress, chat. Yep. Tonight we're leveling the Sorceress. Bum, 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 bum. Sorceress. And it's gonna be fire. Actually really excited for that because I want to see how fast you level. I also want to see how much fun the lunar event is. So right now we can say that the 14% bonus damage reduction, as much as I want to say is useful, is not really doing that much. Good chat? Like we have this 14% bonus damage reduction now from being like fortified. And you were like, sure, you know, like we have the maximum armor cap, we have like 20,000 life, we have everything. So maybe with another 14% damage reduction on all the damage reduction we already have, we should actually be safe and not die. Ha 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 ha. No. Still not. Come on, my minions back.
I'm not ready.
Cooldown reduction, pull everything together. You kind of want to stand like close to your enemies a bit, because there's always like, you know, when the corpse tendrils pull everything together, like that's the perfect moment to dash through stuff. Like right there, pull everything together, dash through it, pull everything together. That's like where the banger cooldown reduction comes from. When you're getting like all the cooldown reduction essentially. Oh, pull that together. I don't want to walk below this, so I just stun them all. My minions back up again. Fantastic. Brilliant. I'm sorry, chat. I stood in that poison explosion. I deserve to die there, obviously. Like this is on me. This is not the game's fault. This is just my fat ass being in the way. Sorry. Okay, I can't be asked to pick this up, so let me upgrade my Exhumation, and Exhumation is 15. Ta-da! Fantastico. Okay, next up we need to upgrade Imbiber for maximum damage. Wait, we're playing a non-existent exploit currently. Oh wow, we have a bunch of useless glyphs. So much more to level up, right? How does the score work in the gauntlet? Gauntlet is going to be by picking up proofs of might after you kill things. So you kill things, proofs of might drop. And then you pick up the proofs of might, and then that turns into that. Oh, I was running around with broken gear. Oh no, only after I died, probably broken gear. Okay, here's shield. Shield can have maximum minion life. Okay, cool. Good to know. Well, let's try to get the Duriel material. So let's check this build out in the open world, chat. Because this build should be nuts in the open world, right? Also, one thing to do now in the open world is currently we need to go to cover chat again. It's the best leveling Neckar build minions. Anyone telling you it's not minions is just lying to you and hates you. I'm sorry. Minions is just the most efficient. It's not even close. It's super fun. I mean, Blood Surge too, but it's also Blood Surge and minions together, kind of. So like both. Minions gain damage reduction. I was thinking about playing that one, but I think I decided against that. It just feels better to literally Army of the Dead everything. It just works so damn well. It's stupid how damn well that works. Okay, we need to get our Duriel mans. Ranks to gloom, cooldown reduction, and shadow damage over time. That's not even a bad one, because he has like shadow damage over time, he has the cooldown reduction and the ranks to the gloom passive. Technically, I would just have to re-roll that now into... damage reduction, per se, which is probably not going to work, so I'm not even going to bother.
I cannot salvage that.
Let's go to Kira-chan. Barb, Druid, Sorg, Rogue, Necro. No, Necro is number one. No matter what. Always number one. Also, you can't really, you know, rate classes against each other because they're not balanced. Okay, because they're not balanced. So a lead, multiple.
I'm not ready.
What's really interesting is obviously that we see millions of 5 million was the highest one I've seen so far. So like millions of damage procs, right? But also that the standard damage over time is like roughly 500k and beyond. So that's also amazing. I'm really happy about the frequency of my damage procs. And there's 4 millions, 3 millions. I mean, by the logic of X-Felt's corroded sickness, right? Chad? By the logic of X-Felt's, it says your damage over time effects have a chance to erupt, right? But if I now have more corpse explosions because my Black River consumes more corpses to make, you know, more thingies and more damage and more fun, you know, like I'm getting, it should work to give me like super damages, super damage fun. Okay, let's see how this works in the open world. I thought this game died. Well, that seems like you didn't inform yourself much and you probably just listened to Twitter, TikTok, random content creators hating on the game. Is your blood surge ready for S tier? That depends on how you perceive S tier or not.
I need more time.
Which build for leveling? Summons. I mean, we have a whole live stream here on YouTube where you can check out like how fast essentially you can level with Necro. Because I like to put my leveling, my leveling is always online and you can check it out. I just made that available for you and you can actually see how fast we're leveling. But I took summons and it was 6 hours to level 60. It's brilliant.
I need time to do that.
Let me get more living steel. This field's very fun in the overworld as well because we're just blasting everything. And obviously Army of the Dead is a bit of an overkill. For any pack of mobs, Army of the Dead is just like overkill.
I need more time.
Because it simply is. Yeah, after we like we're trying to currently get the mats for Duriel so we can do Duriel with community and I can just see the damage we actually deal in the world for real, right? And I know how much damage I deal, like, but I just want to see it during a Duriel try. Technically, it should be during Duriel alone to just like have a video of me destroying Duriel alone. But not sure if I have to do that now, Chan. If I have to leave you behind again. Just for video purposes. But this build is so much fun. I mean, when we're using Army of the Dead, finally, Chan. The most useless skill that's actually considered non-existent and like you don't play that skill. No golem glyph changes. The glyph changes are significant. I mean, this build is not even remotely the same. James, this build is not remotely the same. It's like completely different. I mean, we're having Black River, we're having Flickerstep. Like it's something completely different. So name of this build, it has no name yet. I mean, technically it's a Mendeln summoner, but it's also not a Mendeln summoner because it's actually also a Black River build. But then it is not a Black River build because it's also X-Files Corroded Signet build. And then it actually does use minions still. So... oh. So I mean, call it whatever you want to call it. Okay, let's get the cooldown reduction for all the cool corpses. Oh, that stagger was just mean. Which still brings me back to the... I want to play Shadow Mages. Shadow Mages would give me bonus damage. Give me my Shadow Mages. The Shadow Mages, actually, they do trigger the Shadow Blight key passive, so I do have more permanent damage up. And technically, since I'm using Black River, like I explode so many corpses that my essence gain is just humongous. Right, yeah, like you notice is I just explode a few corpses and we're just there. Is Black River good for blood surge or bone spear? Not good for blood surge. There is a potential for bone spear, and we're dabbling with an idea of making a pure physical damage crit build. So using corpse explosion as a physical damage critter. And I just have no clue how much that will actually work out. But usually you always turn Corpse Explosion into Shadow, but it might be interesting if we just decide to actually play it as a physical damage one. I'm just not 100% sure how well that will turn out. Yeah, there's I mean, this build is truly something that we haven't seen before, guys, because no one in their right mind is using Army of the Dead for damage purposes. It's just silly how good it's working currently. Well, I'll have to talk to my fellow Necro creators about this build. We can come up with something even better. So I think the base concept is a very fun idea that really stems from an eye on the leaderboard. So I mean, we're clearing tier 100 dungeons, right? And leaderboards have been delayed, keep that in mind. But if we now think about the potential that there is just simply going to be the leaderboard.
I'm not ready yet.
And that this build could just perform on tier 70s as amazing as it does. And it wouldn't have any problems clearing bosses. Yeah, we need to do just one tier 70 for testing purposes. Just to see how stupid this would feel. We tried skirmishers versus reapers. Well, I mostly do use skirmishers in all my builds right now. I'm currently using reapers again because we're playing Black River. And Black River is extremely corpse hungry because Black River can consume up to 4 corpses right around the initial corpse. So you kind of need more corpses. And that's also where the Army of the Dead comes in, because if you trigger Army of the Dead against the boss, you instantly make like so many corpses that then the follow-up will just only make more corpses and then more corpses and more corpses. Very often the problem with like any Black River build against a single target is how do I get the corpse production rolling? How do I get the whole thing started, right? How do I make this work from the get-go? And that's a little bit where Army of the Dead solves this issue, because you're like, Army of the Dead, 10, 15 corpses. It's not an aspect, it's the unique gloves, and we used the unique gloves, Howl from Below, before. They work. But right now the plan is to actually use Unyielding Commander, because Unyielding Commander makes my minions undying. So what happens with Unyielding Commander is simply that my minions decide that they do never want to die anymore.
I need more time.
And that's actually plenty good because we don't want our minions to ever die. The true trick is, did you notice how the boss just lost half his HP as I triggered Army of the Dead? And that's not actually because of Army of the Dead, because that's like only half of the whole trick to this build. The thing is that Army of the Dead has such a high lucky hit chance that it actually tends to trigger that it tends to trigger the Ring of Mendel a lot. And when that happens, you know, then when it triggers the Ring of Mendel a lot, then we're actually getting all the beautiful, what are you feeling right there? Then we're getting all the beautiful like bonus damage from our minions as well, because we have two lucky hit uniques, right? We have the Ring of Mendel lucky hit unique, and we have the X-Fel's Corroded Signet running to both of those. I hate you. My main hatred for him stems from him just walking out of our stuff. You know, so he fears my minions, correct? But he also just walks out of my stuff. Absolute untarnished hatred for that. No, I just want you to stand there and just like don't jump around. Ow. Because if you do jump around, it's gonna take me ages to kill you. And by the way, this was like the stupidest thing to do right now because I know how long he's taking. You know? I know how long he's taking, and I just decide that I would rather kill him than get my cinders that I need, another 50. Oh, hello there. How did you all die? Thank you very much. Appreciate it. We're just trying to get our 5 steel. Then we kill Gregoire for you, Chan. And we have to wait for the Helltide to be up. Blood Surge is faster in the overworld. No questions asked, right? Is Blood Surge faster? Yeah. I mean, how would it not be faster? Blood Surge just kills a whole room. Oh no, I gotta ride really fast to that thing now. The lunar event up in the evening. The lunar event will be up, and I will actually play. I will be live for the lunar event because I obviously want to show you the lunar event if you don't have time. I mean, you might be anywhere in the world, correct? You might be not able to watch, so I will be there and I will provide lunar event gameplay.
Not while I'm in town.
And we are going to be leveling a sorceress, chat. Probably be sitting down and get the best sorceress level build together for the season that works good on farming masses of opponents, and then we'll be zooming.
I need more time.
The plan is to play a Blizzard Sork at the end, so I want to play a Blizzard Sork. Haven't played Sork in quite a while, so it's going to be like a fun learning experience. I mean, I brought a Sork already to World Tier 4 and everything, right? So I've done my due diligence. But there's still so much to learn about sorceress combinations and all that kind of thing.
I need time to do that.
Come on, you should just give me the last thingies. Yeah, you should definitely complete the renown thingy. I mean, that's so important. Like, get that renown thingy knocked out, because like you want to be done with renown for the lifetime of Diablo 4. Right? I mean, why would you ever want to do renown again? Kind of like want to be done. Okay, let's see how fast Gregoire dies. I mean, obviously he's going to die fast. That's not the question, but how fast? So, ladies and gentlemen, big shout out to all of you being here today, and thank you for, well, having me actually try this absolutely stupid build out. And like, for some reason it's not stupid, it's actually working. Does Pure Summoner work off season as well? Yes, Pure Summoner does work off season as well. There is a caveat to that. It's just missing the robot to make you more tanky or have you do more damage. So that's like your choice, what you want to do there.
Time to do that. I need more time.
So definitely does work. I mean, then again, please don't play the Eternal Realm. Come on. Come to the seasonal fun. Ilbeard, thank you for the 67 months of support. Ilbeard, very appreciated. Thanks for joining the ranks of our subscribers today. Makes me want to go home from work and play Necro. I mean, I feel that. Necro is the best. Most fun. By the way, I completely missed someone gave away like Gerard. I'm sorry for your $5.99 and completely missing that. Best Necro builder ever. I'm trying, sir. I'm trying my best to continuously provide good content. See, like again, corpses exploded, fortified. I like how fast we're getting fortified. That's good. The advantage of getting like fortified this fast is that now when I'm actually using damage while fortified, yeah. There's one downside with this build. You want to know what, guys? So due to using Mendel, I have to make many compromises, and we're actually lowering our damage net total. Like, so we have the Ring of Mendel running, but we're like, you know, oh, see, there he just goes down. So we have our damage like high, but we could be dealing even more damage, right? Even more. If you would go for a full X-Files build, for example. So we could go for full X-Files build. It only does X-Files. You haven't heard anything good about this season so far. I mean, you're just listening to the wrong sources, I think. Right? You're probably just listening to the wrong sources because the season is absolute fire. Depending on who you listen to. I mean, the leveling is the best experience yet. The companion is so and so. I mean, sometimes he feels good, sometimes he feels bad. What can I say? You know? But all in all, problem obviously right now is they announced the leaderboards. They actually postponed the leaderboards again. So that's bullshit. I mean, you don't announce something to then postpone it and then be like, oh yeah, bibbidi bobbidi boo, we're sorry. Don't be annoyed. It's like, it's hard to not be annoyed. Like, don't do that shit. Lidless with low rolls, even if you get lidless with low rolls, lidless wall, it doesn't matter because the like even a low rolled lidless wall is better than no lidless wall. It was only Rod Ferguson yapping on some podcast. I mean, he's the general manager of Diablo, so it's just, you know, just the general manager of Diablo 4 yapping on a broadcast. But just the guy, you know, that technically. What do you mean to when? Well, no one knows. So leaderboards are not happening on the 13th of February. Not officially delayed. They said the date is not far back. Okay. They said the date is not far back. Why are we doing a tier 100 again? We wanted to do a tier 70 to check. So it's like a soon TM without knowing an exact date.
I'm not ready yet.
Destroyed.
I'm not ready yet.
Fun part about Army of the Dead is they also function as a initiator for corpse skills. I don't know if you thought about this, guys, but often you want like your first corpse, right, to pull things together with corpse tendrils. Well, if you start with Army of the Dead, you get that first corpse because Army of the Dead creates a corpse. This is a Black River Mendel and X-Files build. Yep, with Army of the Dead. This is something so nutty that it actually shouldn't work, but it just refuses to listen to that should not work thingy and just keeps working. Technically, by all metrics, it should be too much of a split around things, like, you know, it wants too many things at the same time, but it actually works. And it would also work without Black River. That's so this is the fun part. It will work without Black River, and I get another offensive aspect, right? Oh, why am I standing like in all elemental hazards? Pony, why are you standing in every single elemental hazard that's available?
I'm not ready yet.
Boom, 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 boom. Some of my minions back up. Nice 3 million damage. Appreciate it. Everything just dies back there. Don't even have to like look or stay. You just know what's gonna happen.
I need more time.
Do not stand in the crossroads of these two rooms, because what happens is that there's like some weird stuns and everything going on, and you only like hurt yourself. Army of the Dead back up again. The only thing you need is the first corpse. As soon as you have the first corpse, everything after that is like cascading madness. All right, Army of the Dead almost available again.
I need more time.
There you go, Army. Full essence straight away. Please don't stand in the elemental hazard, Pony.
I need more time.
Waiting for my army for more elemental. Thank you very much. On we go. Minions resummoned. Curse them. Oh, there's the corpse I was waiting for. Look, Mom, I haven't died a single time so far because I'm actually paying attention. Oh, yeah. Look, Mom, I shouldn't have said that. I regret everything. Oh, that is silly and absolutely uncool that you have like so many freaks happening. Let me pull them together multiple times over. Oh, there's my second Army of the Dead. That cooldown was plenty short. Look, Mom, I tempted fate. The Shadow Boots, well, the Shadow Boots would work, but the problem with the Shadow Boots is that they would work to give you better lucky hit of the cost of not having Flickerstep running, and Flickerstep is just too good to ignore. But especially since you do really want Army of the Dead every single fight. It's especially possible to have Army of the Dead every single fight. And the reason why you want Army of the Dead every single fight is obviously for, like, see, that was just a 10-second cooldown reduction for just dashing through things. Like, nothing else, like, really provides that kind of benefit. But the main thought is that Army of the Dead with a very high lucky hit chance is just a continuous garant for Mendel and procs. Oh god, I really just stood in the volcanic. Yikes. So it's just like a fixed guarantee for Mendel and procs, and it is in itself also a lot of damage because 7 seconds long. I actually never counted how many skeletons it is, but it says 7 seconds long skeletons are coming, right? One problem I always had with the skill is it never said how many. So it calls forth deep buried dead, right? And deals exploding them, and they deal 12,000 damage or however many thousand damage over 7 seconds. But it actually never said a number. Is it 20? Is it 30 skeletons? Right? How many skeletons are actually coming out of this? Have we actually ever counted? We should probably count. Oh, did I just pick up the key and I should have like actually just ran out of this? So yeah, you know, that's like the question. Did anyone ever count? Try to figure out how many skeletons are really coming out of that? Because that would be like an interesting one to find out how much damage does it actually deal base. Because again, if you actually have Shadow Blight Key passive active and everything, you go up to 50,000 damage. And then if you have Curse, and then if you have the like you somehow go up like the 30,000 damage per boob from the skill, right? Which is still not like crazy much, but it's like there. Okay, I'm stuck and I'm not getting out of that. So it's like still not like the most insane damage in the world, right? Black River, Ball Wave usually does more. But that's not the point. I would just really like to be able to quantify this, right? I mean, if the skill already does 500,000 damage base. Oh, and the skeletons can critical strike. So one thing I've like, one thing to not forget is that the skeletons from Army of the Dead, they can critical strike. So all your critical strike damage, like 22% multiplier on targets below 20 below healthy and so on. That also applies. So like if then these like skeletons start like pummeling on everyone and like making these corpses, and I can explode everything and everything dies, right? But then you're also having like each of these skeletons that deal like 50,000 damage per skeleton blah, and they can explode for another like hundreds of thousands of critical strike damage. And then suddenly like everything looks like different, right? Oh, and then obviously every single skeleton that explodes has the chance to trigger Mendeln, and then if it actually triggers Mendeln, then like one critical strike cool explosion would suddenly turn into millions of damage. So you have like a base high value damage, and then that would also have the chance to turn into millions of damage. So yay! So that's where my interest in Army of the Dead comes from. In the final room, you kind of see how especially well it kind of works, because we're putting it down, right? My minions take 90% less damage for 7 seconds as long as they're running. So they stay alive. We pull everything together. We get like the cooldown reduction with the Flickerstep happening. Also Flickerstep again. We'll pull everything together. So nothing actually touches us. Army of the Dead. Pull everything together. Flickerstep. Jump through. Thank you very much. Run out of that. Pull everything together so the suppressor umbrella doesn't happen. My minions have not died yet, so that's also interesting. My minions have not died yet. Be pulled in by that weird thingy. Pull everything together. Army of the Dead. Boom, 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 boom. Everything dies. Thank you very much. Just works too good. And this is like, you know, finally a Shadow build without being Infinity Mist, because Infinity Mist is getting boring. Like every Shadow build is always like, Infinity Mist, chat, Infinity Mist. Have you tried Infinity Mist, Jan? Yeah, listen, Infinity Mist. But the concept of Infinity Mist doesn't make sense for the leaderboard, because you don't need Infinity Mist. Do you know why Infinity Mist exists? Why that build existed in the beginning? To have a build that does maximum damage but can't take damage while it's dealing damage. Right? That's why Infinity Mist exists, because of old tier 100 dungeons and Abattoir of Zir. But these times are over. Abattoir of Zir and old tier 100 dungeons are each over. So yeah. Those like things of the past. Okay, Sever gloves, no. Surge gloves, no. Pans, no. Okay, we should have the next Helltide zone up, right? Okay, this is definitely going to get a build, but I think I'll follow, like, I'm planning like 2 new builds this season, guys. 2 new builds you've never seen before. So this is one of the first new Mendon builds now that's like completely working a funny way. But I will actually, so for this build, for example, it makes sense to play Army of the Dead. But if I would now play an X-Files Corroded Signet build, it would not make sense to play Army of the Dead. Caveat, it might still make sense to play Army of the Dead for a Black River build. So weird. So weird, yet so much fun. But I'm genuinely asking myself if I lost it with this build. Okay, there is... Wait, isn't that over? It said 5 minutes. I got robbed. Did I not take 5 minutes for the dungeon? Oops. Oops. Was I a little bit too quick for the dungeon? We could try to get an igneous core. Do I have steel on the other account? I just want to nuke Duriel, I think. What do you think for the aspect for Blizzard mages to chill? The unique two-handed weapon to chill. I think there's more chill effect for Necro. Crimson, like the unique two-handed weapon is worth it. The aspect is not worth it. The problem is the aspect's damage can't be scaled, and that's horrible. Yeah, I don't have steel on this one as well. So the aspect's damage can't be scaled, which makes it actually be horrible. It's up for 45 minutes, that region. Wait, really? But I was just in there. It said 13 minutes. Or am I just crazy? Did it just spawn in the same region again? No, it wasn't that region before. I was here just a second ago. Chat, why do you say I'm crazy? Why do you hate me, chat? Seriously, not cool.
I cannot do that here. I cannot do that here.
Yeah, oh, okay. Could you please let me explode this? Yeah, thank you very much. Just popping my Army of the Dead. Everything dies. Everything should die without me having to like care much about it. Okay, sirs and ma'ams, like I really just want to touch this. Let me touch this effigy. Thank you very much. Come on, skeleton bros. I don't want to give you commands. You should be like acting on yourself. Ow. He hit me, Chan. Oh, look, chat. It's Skyzel, the Helltide commander. Oh, look, Chad. He's dead. He got exploded with lucky hits. Poor lad. Plus the funny amount of stagger that we're actually dealing, you know? There's like this funny amount of stagger that you have going on. And we could actually have more. So I have to say we're actually having like the weakest amount of stagger that is possible right now. Because you could be going back to the Frost Mages to actually have more stagger, which might be worthy versus like bosses that you consider like, what if I just have more stagger going on, you know? If you don't know what those rings are, they are the Ring of Mendel and the Ixfeld's Corroded Signet. The two rings that work off lucky hit chance. So both rings do work as you hit lucky hits. So you're intrigued to hit as high lucky hits as possible, right? As many lucky hits as possible. I mean, for that, we do have corpse explosions going on. More corpse explosions, more fun. Bigger corpse explosions, bigger fun. I'm still not 100% sure about the Black River. I think the most interchangeable item in this build right now is the Black River. But on top of the Black River, I kind of feel like, I mean, if I take it out, like, I don't really have an aspect I want. It's a luxury problem, right? That I could take the Black River out and I wouldn't actually feel it. You know, it wouldn't make the biggest of all differences for this build. Imagine. But I also do not have an offensive aspect I rather want. That's like the funny part. I don't have an offensive aspect I would rather want. I know. Sorry. Weird. Why are you... Oh, he's level 66. He's dodging. I was wondering, why are you running in circles, sir? What are you doing there? He is dodging the fire explosions because he does not want to die. Oh, poor lad, Chan. A two-handed scythe shouldn't be better. You mean the shadow damage two-handed scythe? That gives us 50% more damage versus chilled opponents, and that has your shadow damage actually be chilled damage at the same time? Or you mean in general, a two-handed scythe? Well, Black River helps to create more corpses and makes your corpse explosions more dangerous, and we're using corpse explosion mostly for essence production and for our X-Felds triggers. So, yeah. Just works. If you had separate corpse explosion procs versus one Black River proc, that would theoretically benefit. What do you mean? I mean, technically, yes. If you get rid of Black River, you can do more singular corpse explosions instead of more beefy corpse explosions. That's the reason why we're actually playing Army of the Dead, right? To just have all these corpse explosions. You know? Actually, I do think like this. See, that's another like 30 corpses or so just with one Army of the Dead. I just like the idea of Army of the Dead being useful. Like I hate that Army of the Dead always feels so useless, and now we finally have a reason to have it be good. This I would only do for the Mendel build. So, I mean, like right now we're trying to find out how can you make good Mendel builds? How can you make a build that doesn't force you to play the Ring of Sacrilegious Souls? Because if I was, again, like this is very important, chat. If I was not playing Army of the Dead, I would have to play the Ring of Sacrilegious Souls. And that's shitty. Because that loses you your ring slot. And that's the whole point. We don't want to lose the ring slot, right? Why do we have to play the Ring of Sacrilegious Souls? The Ring of Sacrilegious Souls resummons our minions when they would die. And, well, you do notice how my minions die all the time, but right now we're just using Army of the Dead to resummon our board, and that's actually really good. Can this build defeat bosses easily? Yes. We're currently in the process of acquiring living steel, so I can essentially just show you how easy you can kill bosses. That's why we're doing this right now. We're not doing this for fun, chat. It's not like I'm having fun here. It's not like I'm enjoying myself. No, this is serious business. This is testing environmental environments. Okay. This is me not enjoying myself at all right now. Yeah. I hate it every single second. No. And we're just like getting to the point where I can like show you the you know, like how it does to Dorio. And the fun part is you essentially have your skeletons trigger millions of damage, your X-Felds triggering millions of damage, And then lastly, but surely, your corpse explosions doing also millions of damage. By the way, this brings me to, why are you still having gripping support? I have breaking, arcing, and usually I have resource support, but I don't need resource support. Any idea what else we could play, guys? I mean, we could have Tempest do poison support to just swap poison, you know? So poison. Oh, no, you know what? I could do efficiency support. Suck it. More critical strike chance, more chance for my X-Felt and for my Mendel to actually critical strike. Yep, that's worth it. Because right now we are only at a we're at a whooping 22% critical strike chance, plus another 15% from our plus around 15% from our corpse tendrils, plus then another 14% from our efficiency support, which kind of makes sure that we're not falling short because we're not playing Bone Storm, because Bone Storm gives us usually 20% crit chance, right? We don't need that. You know, we do it different. Sid, thank you for the another months. Thank you for the 39 months of support, Sid. Very appreciation. Much appreciation. Which build is this? This is the new Black River Men Down X-Felds Corpse Explosion Minion Mania. We don't have a good name for it, Chan. Like, we literally don't have a name for this. It doesn't exist. It's new. As a boss here, I need to dash through him to essentially get cooldown reduction on my corpse, my Army of the Dead, so I can like finally trigger Army of the Dead against him. There's Army of the Dead. Fantastic. I was waiting for that. Army of the Dead now spread up way too much. See, like do you see like how his HP bar is just chunking down? Yeah. I mean, this is just a Helltide commander, so nothing special. You die relatively fast, but just to give you like a taste of kind of like coming out of this. With the cube from D3, the Knaes cube is fun. I would not mind having that. It was like kind of cool to have like the chance to make things with it. That made definitely my one D3 season I actually played really interesting. Being able to transmog things and shit things around. I mean, they promised us also, like, very important, Chad. There was a tweet from Diablo where they said, please do not disenchant your duplicate uber uniques, because we all have duplicate uber uniques. There is something coming. So they said that if you have uber uniques, even though you don't need them, you should keep them, because there is a world where something is coming. We also picked up an uber unique, guys. Do you know which one it is? Ladies and gentlemen, we got an uber unique yesterday. And I was like, what? An uber unique? This is crazy. It was a Melted Heart of Selig.
I need more time.
It was a Melted Heart of Selig. Cannot begin to tell you how useless the Melted Heart of Selig is. For Necro. But the new Melted Heart of Selig will be played, and I will make a build with it. I decided that I will make a build with a Melted Heart of Selig because I can, and I want. I want to make a Bone Spear build with it. Okay? It's going to be like a max damage Bone Spear. 0 defense, just damage. Okay? Like literally it will just be damage. Like screw any pretense at defense. Suck it. We'll be defending ourselves. We'll just do dueling damage.
I need more time.
Okay, where's my... ¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
I need more time.
Is 20,000 armor too much in dungeon? After 15,000, there's no more benefit of having armor. So it's not like that it's too much. It's just completely useless. Okay. So again, after 13,500, there's no more benefit. If you want to know more about armor and how armor works, then we do have a whole YouTube video for you on that, on the channel, that you should definitely check out. Okay.
I cannot do that here. Not while I'm in town.
Why are good roll jewelry so hard to find? Honestly, rings, good, but amulets almost impossible for me. Why don't you have a German accent like Arnold? I mean, Arnold is not German, but I also don't have a German accent because I worked on alienating that. I don't want a German accent because German accent is horrible. Horrible. I'm actively working on getting rid of that because Jesus, who wants to have a German accent, chat? Asking the Germans. Okay, so Grégoire the Galvanic Saint. Whoop, 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 whoop. So right now for the maximum effect, I need at least 5 corpses, right? I have 0 corpses, so I activate this. And now I have all the corpses, and then I have more corpses, and then I throw this out, and he loses half of his HP suddenly. So did you notice how half of his HP just went away, Chan? Like, how he's like, oh no, where did half of my HP go? Was the chunk from Xfeld and Mendon? I'm almost 100 and still using sacred jewelry. They should get rid of useless affixes and jewelry. They should. But if you're level 100 and still using sacred, then you probably didn't do enough vaults, because vaults are usually they're shoving it down your throat. I mean, seriously, they're they're taking all that stuff and they're just jamming it in your throat like there's no tomorrow. It's like, yeah, you should at this point be like, really, you having it. Okay, let's see how the damage versus Duriel is. Well, we know how high it is, but people don't want it, right? Since we don't have Abattoir, there's nothing to really test your build. Yeah, but Abattoir wasn't also really a test for your build, because Abattoir was more like a defense check. I mean, right? Abattoir wasn't really a damage check at some point, because you also needed to have like silly amounts of defense to merely like survive in the Abattoir, which is like kind of stupid. You shouldn't need these silly amounts of whatever to just survive. So the lads are dead. Pull things together, curse him. That's like always the stupid thing about the, oh, I need to start dashing. Even if he's like only one dude, right? Dashing through him is definitely worth it. Like, do you notice how Army of the Dead chunks him down? But this chunk of HP was like Army of the Dead activation plus the lucky hit that Army of the Dead kind of brings with it. Just in case, like, where did that sudden chunk come from? That was like when you activate that. I'm gonna wait for him to borrow before I do my Army of the Dead again, because I don't want him to borrow and then army. Oh no, don't stun my minions when army is running. My minions need to carry out X-Felds then. Sad. Oh, he killed one of my dudes. I'm surprised that that actually happened. Oh, don't forget to go through him. We're getting used to the boss gameplay when we actually have to dash. And we desperately need to get rid of... What was it called again, guys? Oh, Juggernaut. Exactly, yeah. We need to get rid of Juggernaut. Why Juggernaut? Because it's like completely useless to play this right now with...
I'm out of this. I need more time.
With... Come on, brain, saying Flickerstep together. It's like we kind of wanted dash, but yeah, it's keeping us away from dashing. Like we dash in 7 seconds cooldown. It's another God Slayer that we don't need. A 54%. I mean, can someone explain me though, Chan, why the God Slayer crown has 10% crowd control duration on it? I know there are some builds that can actually profit from crowd control duration increase, but it still feels like one of these stats that I have no clue why it even exists in any capacity. Another one of those. That is 18 essence. That's insane. That's wow. Wow. Okay, I got 2 uber uniques, Chan. That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, seriously. What the fuck? In this ring, 44, and this one with the 18. Had to choose one necro build to run forever. Which one would it be? Just run Bone Spear and don't even about life anymore. No? But the spice of necro is the variety. And the reason why I play necro, the reason why I enjoy necro is all the different I can do. That's where my personal joy and entertainment comes from. I play necro. Why I like it so much over other classes. Why I would always recommend to play necromancer. Because he just got it going on, Chan. Got it going on. Is it only me, or is sound? What is the little scuff for now? My sound. What is the little scuff? Well, I don't know why your sound is scuffed. What's their problem with the mic? Is the problem with the mic fixed? I might have hit the microphone again. It was a little static. Yeah, I gotta make sure to replace the microphone cable. I gotta make sure to replace the microphone cable.
I'm not ready yet.
Oh, there's more. Look. Look, Mom. Oh, you didn't trigger a corpse tendril. Why? It's so rude. It's funny how fast we really get fortified here right now. So all my skeletal warriors are dead, by the way, Chan. We summoned them anew. But without ever having to care for them, okay? By the way, did you notice how Army of the Dead like made a corpse all the way up there? Everything dead. Oh, ow. I just really should have not walked in there. The corpse tunnels don't activate. I mean, mainly the corpse tunnels don't activate if you actually put them where no corpse is. You know, you're like kind of like you think there's a corpse, you kind of but like yeah, if there is a corpse, it will activate. Right? If there's no corpse, it won't activate. Honest, the damage. Love it. Ow. I love it. And then poof, get killed by a wolf. There's something with the microphone. Oh, yeah, we know the cable has a, I don't know what it's in English. So what is the name in English when your cable has an issue where it's in the socket, but sometimes you need to wiggle it a bit around to make it work? Germany, it's a shaky contact, I guess. That would be the translation. Right? A Wackelkontakt. A loose connection. Well, that's too simple. I don't like that that's that. I literally don't like that that's what it would be, because that would literally be the one-to-one German translation. Yeah, no, I don't like that. Find a better name, Chad. Like, seriously. I need you to find a better name than that, because I'm not okay that it would be such a simple one-to-one. I don't like that. Please. I literally do not know what I died to. Cable's fucked. No, the cable isn't fucked, actually. It's the contact there. A wiggly jack. Yeah. It's not okay. You can't call it a wiggly jack. Not allowed, chat. Because it would be too simple. And we don't like simple here. We need it complicated. Could you just... Don't make me walk back to put another corpse explosion down. Wiggly jack sounds so dirty. Yep. Is there any penalty if you die? Well, if you would be playing hardcore, then you would be dead if you die. You know? But also, who plays hardcore in this game where like, even so don't get me wrong, chat, but who plays hardcore in a game where if I have maximum armor, maximum elemental resistances, very good amounts of damage reduction, and all of that going on together, and yet still, when I'm doing high level content, I can die to things that should technically not kill me because my damage reduction, my armor, and everything maxed out, should provide the defense to prevent this amount of one-hittery. But there are people that do that, you know, and the way they're doing it is by stacking so much defense that it's already like nonsense making. I mean, sometimes you can get one hit if you have the maximum amount of armor, the maximum amount of resistance, then you have a very high amount of life, and you have a high amount of barrier, and yet still you can get one hit. And you're kind of like, but why? You know? But why? The only way to actually prevent that is by having damage reduction while injured. Like there's have actually been a lot of tests now with the Diablo 12 Zero, and to really be damage reduced, you would essentially have to run around with 35% HP and less. And then if you have like all your items be, instead of having like normal damage reduction, right? You would run around with damage reduction while injured. And then you run around with below 35% HP. And then you finally have the amount of damage reduction you need to not die. Which does seem a little bit silly to me. But only if you ask me. If you don't ask me, like, it's okay. That's probably the last thing that currently, I mean, despite like the missing endgame and all that kind of stuff, it's probably the last thing, the last mystery of Diablo 4 that's bugging me a bit. That like some of the damage reduction calculations just don't seem to make sense. I mean, obviously you do have conditional damage reduction, right? So some of my damage reduction is damage reduction from enemies that are affected by shadow damage over time and so on. But it still seems like that for like, I just have the dire feeling that some of the stuff just doesn't work. Like it literally doesn't work, you know? Because otherwise I just don't know how you're calculating things, you know? But it seems silly to me that the only amount of damage reduction that's feasible is the one that if you're injured. seems just a tad silly to me. Yeah, I really didn't want to get killed by that blood blister, but there was also nothing I could have done there. I tried. Just blizzard moth. Yeah, but what if the blizzard moth isn't even mothing? Yeah, with no combat log. See, this is what I would like to have. I would like to have a combat log to at least understand if it's me or the game. Because that's like the worst feeling right now. You're currently at a point where either you're crazy or the game is not doing the things it should be doing. But you literally have no way of verifying that, right? If you're crazy or if the game is just not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Like you can only guess to a degree. And as you say, a combat log, because all the stuff is being logged anyways. Everything is in the back end anyways. So where's the issue in showing us that respective thing? Oh, there's another unique. So we've gotten 4 uniques today from tier 100 vaults, chat. Imbiber also on 15. Fuck yeah. And now we only have to level up. Oh, why did I do that? Max armor is 13.5k. Max armor, and afterwards it doesn't do anything anymore. When game came out, the whole resistances did not work. See, this is the thing, right? When the game came out, the whole resistances didn't work. How are we supposed to trust the working resistances right now? Because shouldn't like, bear with me, chat, for a second. Shouldn't that, when I have my resistances maxed, correct? That I am literally unable to get one hit by any elemental threat. I mean, isn't that technically what max resistance should do? Or am I just being stupid? You know? Am I asking for too much? Ranks of Vulcan. Honestly, probably I'm just looking wrong at these amulets. I mean, also if you're at the armor cap, so if you're at 13,500, technically no amount of physical damage should one hit you as well. Technically, right? And then the amount of damage reduction you have should essentially just take care that you're not taking super high chunks of damage. But shouldn't be being at the cab be the way to prevent one hits? I think one hits are multiple types of damage instance triggering. Most likely, Dreamy. Most likely. But sometimes you're also like, have you gotten stung by the scorpions, chat? So these scorpions, they have one attack where they charge and they sting with their back stinger. And that attack can one hit you. I mean, right now I ran into the explosion, so I know what that was. But coming back to the topic of a combat log, without a combat log, it's very hard to, yeah, know what was there going on, right? Because you're kind of like stuck asking yourself the question, what just happened? the main question in the Abba 12 Zir, right, was what? Then again, Abba 12 Zir had a whole different problem with, what was it again? It was the one vampiric power that would execute your opponents. Okay, so there was one vampiric power that would execute your opponents, but that vampiric power that could also execute yourself. So it could happen that you're accidentally executing yourself. Mm. What are we doing here? Well, I mean, it's called Ring Around the Rosie, chat. The only way how you play against the butcher as a necromancer.
I need more time.
Running a little circle around a very tight space. He's gonna be like, what the fuck is happening? And you're like, bro, this is what's happening right now. He's like, I don't understand what's going on. Like, deal with it. Best thing that can happen to you is that you actually stagger him. My problem right now is that most of my damage is like, you know, damage over time, and you essentially have this dude just run in circles, right, around your damage over time. Well, I'm currently like I'm just trying to get him staggered right now because I would like to use my Army of the Deck correctly. Maximum damage efficiency. Mm-hmm. You notice how he just randomly kills my poor minions, right? That's because he's the butcher. He's a meanie. Yes, you're kind of like taking your minions as like miniature stuns in between. That's how it works, right? Especially now when you have Army of the Dead running. Because as soon as you have Army of the Dead running, they get 90% damage reduction. Sir, you just ran away. This happens when you don't have any movement abilities, guys. This is what the game has become. Your necromancer. But if I was playing a X-Fel like a Bone Storm build, what happens is that you're essentially able to do this thing a bit more efficient because you essentially have your Bone Storm to provide yourself so much barrier that you're unable to oh, he's killed all my minions. That's bad. The worst part. So like the Bone Storm provides so much barrier that you can essentially just face tank him. I mean, obviously I do not have a single defensive skill, right, to face tank the butcher. Butcher done. I do know I don't have like any type of defensive ability to make my own life easier there. I'm no defensive ability Andy. That's what they call me. Which is really fun add-on into the game. I do like the Butcher, as I do like the Son of Malphis. Just that the Son of Malphis is inherently terrible for Necro again. I mean, it's like a lot with these bosses. Like if you have damage that's, you know, only working when it's on one spot of the map, but if then the person decides to like not stand on that one spot of the map because he's inherently a rushing boss, then well, that's unfortunate. Also, if the Butcher with one shout can kill every single minion, because this is what the Butcher can do, by the way, Chan, in case you've never seen that. But the Butcher can do his shout, like where he goes, ooh, and then all your minions are dead. especially when you cage him in. So when you have him like in a doorway stuck, with your minions like tanking the doorway. Yes, your minions are tanking the doorway. And then he just destroys them all with one shot. It's like a little bit silly. For a minion build, Butcher Kill is pretty good. This is not a minion build. It just has minions. This build literally just has minions, but it's the furthest away from a minion build that you could actually be. You have to see these minions here just as little decoys of damage, okay? They're little balloons that can pop and do tremendous amounts of damage. That's what the minions are. Damage balloons. Nothing more. We don't like them. We don't want them. And they're absolutely replaceable. Ow. And I just walked into a poison explosion. Barbarian just one-shots everything that passes through. Yep. Which makes you always wonder if all content is actually balanced, right? Barbarians make you genuinely question the balance of content in general. Because you have the Son of Malphus right now, right? And the Son of Malphus seems to have trillions of HP. Mind me, with a Bone Spear build, I killed the Son of Malphus as well. Still though. You essentially have like the Son of Malphus with like 20 billion HP, right? And well, the Son of Malphus, like for every other build but Barbarian, takes quite a while. And you're kind of like, that doesn't make sense, you know? How is like one piece of content balanced around one class? So how would you call the build then? Well, this build is essentially using Ixfeld's Corroded Signet together with the Ring of Mendeln and the Black River Size to actually create copious amounts of damage, corpses, and then it's also using the Land of the Dead, which is very uncommon for shadow builds to actually use, to be even more annoying. So I really genuinely don't know how to call this build. Also, there is a tanky version of this build that would be playing Bone Storm, but I'm kind of very happy once in a while not playing Bone Storm, especially because I could suggest people to play a build that doesn't need you to get the Litless Wall, chat. Finally, there's a Necro build that doesn't need the Litless Wall. Ladies and gentlemen, ding 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 ding. Finally, we've reached the point. Oh, all my minions died. That's sad. Let's get them back. Whee! And I was like, all my minions died. Let's get them back. Shall we? Oh, I'm totally gonna run into a corpse explode. I'm totally gonna run into a what's it called again? Death bolt explosion. Weep. Well, this is bad. This is bad. If I just ran in there, right? I would have died. Straight up. Heads up. No question. Boom. Everything dead. Perfection. Oh, ah! Petition to remove death polls out of the game and never talk about it again.
I'm not ready yet.
Who's with me, Chan? I know you're with me. Stop pretending. Oh, all my minions dead? That's fine because they're all back again. Whee! I mean, like, this is the build when you hate minions, okay, Chad? This is the official minion hater build because you actually don't care about them being alive. And you only resummon them with a skill. You don't actually ever take time out of your day to resummon your lads, okay, Chad? The official minion hater build. Oh, that's why they're dying. I was wondering why, you know, why are you dying so quick? Well, death pulls. You're actually dying to death pulls, you little shitters. I completely missed that part. Yeah, obviously you're dying to death pulls because why wouldn't you? Well, I'm dying to death pulls too. Biggest quality of life would be an attack move command for minions. I mean, right now for this build is surprisingly not needed as much as I do agree though. But for any kind of pure minion build, it would be needed. But it's kind of like the least thing that minions need. I mean, summons right now need to work because they don't. I mean, we're coming back to the thing of multipliers working or not working. Minions have so many multipliers, okay? And yet, despite having all these multipliers, you're somewhat not reaching the damage you should. I mean, like, hear me out. You have alone, like in your Paragon board, your minions get 45% bonus damage in your skill section. Then they're getting another 60% bonus damage. Then you know, they're getting another 80% multiplier. Then they're getting another 40% multiplier. Then actually all your damage multipliers are also multiplying your minion damages. So technically your minions should be getting like what 500% multiplier at some point. And then it still turns out that like, so here's a minion, here's a 500% multiplier, 20,000 damage per hit. And you're like, but I like, what was that? Well, yeah, 500%. Hello? Like, knock, knock. Is this on?
I need more time.
To that, but coming back to the topic of, does everything even work? You know, is this even doing what it's supposed to do? Because it doesn't seem to. Minion meta, no, we'll never see a minion meta because Blizzard is unable to make minions work. I'm just realistically, there is no minion meta. I mean, we made 2 minion builds this season that are all clearing tier 100s. We have made 2 minion builds that are now able to take any piece of content on. We made 2 minion builds that are super fun to play. Both of these minion builds need bonus things to kind of work. So it's not like that these minions builds work from alone, right? You do need certain uniques. That's not true. The first one works without certain uniques, but still you need certain like aspects and everything to barely make them work. And then even if you do everything for them, it's kind of like they barely work, which is sad. Because if you take Blood Surge and for example, you know, Blood Surge, very cool. But if you take Blood Surge, for example, and I use one single aspect, okay? There's one single aspect for Blood Surge, and it works straight away. And that's like the comparison, right? So I can put on 4 minion aspects, and for like they still don't work. They still don't do damage. And then I could put in one single aspect, one single one. And it works. That's when it does feel a little bit silly, you know?
I'm not ready.
But that's just enough rant about minions right now, Chan. It's just a reality you need to accept. And I think a lot of people still struggle with this, right? They're like, but I wish it was like D3. That's okay. I wish too, but it's not going to happen. Sir, ma'am. Good, ladies and gentlemen, this is the weirdest build I've ever made that works. Guess like even an idiot can make builds now. Because if this works, then everyone can make builds. Chat, if this works, everyone can make builds. Deathless Visage versus a good legendary defensive helmet. Deathless Visage, always. Always. Unquestionable. Okay, well, let's see what we got here. Useless, useless, useless. No, lucky hit while barrier, useless. I mean, there's even an aspect. There's this aspect, guys. I think this aspect is the biggest disrespect in existence. Your sacrifice bonuses are increased. Hey, Chan, listen. Listen, Chan. There's an aspect that increases your sacrifice bonuses. Which means that Blizzard wants you to not play your minions. Wait, hold on. I wasn't even done, chat, because there is more. Wait, what, Pony? There is more? I don't believe it. Yes, chat. Give me a second. There is more. So not only is there a, not only is there an aspect, there's also a skill that gives you more damage reduction the more minions you sacrifice. Oh, and guess what? There's also a skill that makes you stronger the more you sacrifice. I mean, obviously this kind of needed to be in to a degree, but at some point, like how these two skills, okay, are better than all of this. So alone these two skills, the damage reduction, which is 18%, significant, and the hiring of the sacrifice bonuses is better than any minion skill in the whole skill tree. I like... Thank you. Thank you. Good. That being said, chat, I am done. I need to run. I need to pick up my children. I'll be later back and we're playing Sorg. So this will be the second stream of the day where we will play Sorcerer. And I can't wait to show that to you. So thank you for coming and watching, lurking and chatting, hanging out. Can't wait to see you all later as well. Hope you're going to have a fantastic one. Love you all. Love to have you there. And thanks for being with us. This build will also get a guide in the next couple of days.